The majority of homeless people in California are actually working.
It's a total fabrication.
It's a lie.
I recently posted a video of the first debate for the governor race in California. What I want to focus on in this short video is an interaction between Steve Hilton and Katie Porter, Steve Hilton being the Republican candidate and Katie Porter being the Democratic candidate. You'll hear me in the corner making a comment. That's me right over here, right over there. How do you point? That's me right behind me. All right. So don't be distracted by me in the background. But Steve Hilton's going to make a claim, and Katie Porter is going to make a counterclaim on the homeless situation. What I want to focus on, obviously Steve Hilton's telling the truth, but let's see if Katie's telling the truth. And we'll look into a couple of things that she said now that I've had time to kind of look it up. So let's have a listen, shall we?
Mr. Hilton, you've given the governor an F on his overall performance. When it comes to homelessness, has he done anything right?
I think F is for failure.
Well, by the way, I'd love to be in your class, Katie, if you get a B for what Gavin Newsom's done on homelessness. My goodness, of course it's an F. It shames our state, the situation with homelessness. We have about 10% of the US population, around 50% of the country's homeless population.
So Steve Hilton gives an F. Let's see what Katie's response is to Steve Hilton's claim.
Ms. Porter, I'll allow you to respond. You have 15 seconds.
If you were in my class, Mr. Hilton, you would learn in my bankruptcy and consumer protection class that the majority of homeless people in California are actually working. They're not just people on the streets. It's not just people with mental illness.
So the majority of homeless are working. Did I hear her right? Is that what she said? So, yes, that is exactly what she said, Mike. I have had a chance to kind of look at those claims, and so that's what we're going to look at now. Let's see if we can kind of break that down a little farther. So her claim is that the majority of current homeless are working, present tense, right? So I asked the question, are the majority of homeless in California working individuals? And here is the breakdown. So this is what she was kind of referring to, I believe, and it's a misdirection, it's a mischaracterization, and it's misinformation. If she was on Facebook, it would be fine, but if I said it, it would be misinformation and I'd be fact-checked. But let's check it out anyway. While a significant portion of homeless Californians have a recent work history, meaning prior to being homelessness is what that means, roughly 74% in LA County studies, the majority are not currently employed while being homeless. So no, Katie, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. I wonder if she will give a retraction and apologize for her mischaracterization or flat out lie. However, a substantial minority estimated between 10 and 18% in various studies are working either part-time, full-time, part-time, full-time, or gig work. I guess they're musicians. Anyway. So, yeah, is that a substantial minority? A substantial minority. Okay, I don't. That's a new term on me. I haven't heard that one before. But let's see if we can break down what that means with part-time, full-time, and gig work. Gig work is sporadic or periodic employment. So I asked the next question, what percentage of the homeless in California have current jobs? Current jobs, Katie, current. I know you said they are working, but you are not correct. Estimates suggest around 13 to 20%, kind of a wide margin if you ask me, of homeless individuals in California, particularly in areas like San Francisco, are employed full-time, part-time, sporadically. Okay, yeah, we got that message, right? So what does that actually mean? So you kind of have to go to AI. To make it quick, I could go on and search for different studies, but let's see what AI has come up with. Employment breakdown by type. So I asked the question of the homeless that have jobs, can you give me a breakdown of full-time, part-time, and sporadic employment? And here we see employment breakdown by type. San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego. Of the full-time employment in San Francisco, it's about 1.4%. In Los Angeles, it's about 1%. And in San Diego, it's not specified. Part-time is 15.6% for San Francisco, 7 to 18%, a kind of a wide margin for a study in Los Angeles of part-time work, and around 10%, mostly part-time. It's in the part-time category. Anyway, so on average, since we can kind of put in the middle here, let's say 15. Let's be generous and say a 15%, a substantial minority. So of part-time, we don't know exactly what part-time means. We know it's probably less than 20 hours a week, but that's categorized. Part-time, sporadic, and temporary work are all part of the same. So is half of that the part-time? Is half of it, or 75% of it, the sporadic? See, this is where the statistics get vague. But what we do know is that full-time employment is less than 2%, less than 1.5%, less than 1.5%. So what Katie said is emphatically wrong. It's wrong from top to bottom. So nice try, Katie, but you lied. I wonder if you're going to give a retraction for your misinformation, or if you're going to apologize to the people of California. But I doubt that you will, because you're just posturing so you can get your hands on some of that $1 billion lost. $24 billion currently is the tab that is unaccountable or unaccounted for. And the way I see it, when you're given an A and B grading for that kind of effort, you're just looking for the money grab yourself.